Hello? Okay, good. I think we can start. So let's go. Welcome to this session about the Visual Layout Suite module. Okay, so first let's introduce us. I'm Ricardo Sanz. I'm a Drupal developer and also I do DevOps tasks. I'm an open source and free software enthusiast. It's something that I love since I met it a lot of years ago. And you can find me on Drupal.org as Tunic and in Twitter as Sanzante, at least as long as it's still up. And my colleague is Cristian Aliaga. He's also a Drupal developer, of course, and he loves Drupal and Tetris equally, as you will see soon. And now let's introduce the module that we are talking about today, the Visual Layout Suite, and it's a module designed for ambitious site builders. And first, let's see a walkthrough of what we are going to see today. First, we are going to see the main goal of the module. Then we'll see a preview on demo that will see how we achieve this goal. Then we'll talk about the principles and values of the development and also the consequent implementations assumptions that we have made. Then we'll talk about the key concepts that you should be familiar with to understand the next part of the talk, that is the technical description of the module. Then we will see differences with other solutions, that because there are many different solutions to improve the editorial experience on Drupal. Then we'll see the next steps and development forecast for this module because it's still in development. I mean, it still is stable, but obviously we will continue developing it. And hopefully we will see more demo because at the end this is a visual module. And so at the end, what we are going to achieve with this session is try to answer those questions: why this module, what is for, and how we did it. And for this, I'm going to pass the micro to Cristian. Sorry.
Okay. Thank you, Ricardo. So, as Ricardo said, so we try to focus the suite based into a suite of concepts and premises, and the main goal is this. And the Visual Layout Suite goal is clear, is to deliver the maximum value in the shortest possible time. Not just for the final client or the site builder, also for developers or other people. Okay, so we are going to start with a demo. Here we will be creating a CTA or call to action block in less than 3 minutes from scratch. But having Radix as the main theme, that is a Bootstrap 5 theme. Okay, here we are enable the Visual Layout Suite landing content editor module. By using dependencies, we are enable all this, which includes contrib modules, core modules, and also some of the suite. Okay, as you can see, we have no content yet, but we are enable the landing content editor, which will be creating a dedicated content that any site builder can use after enable this module. and all dependencies like asymmetric translation and everything. Okay, first we're going to be creating the node, filling title, the body, an image by using media. And the link that will be used for teaser or whatever. Okay, now we are at the layout link from this content that we just created, which is provided by Layout Builder with the enhancements from the suite. First, we add a section. As you can see, we have many provided by the suite, 1 column, 2 columns, 3 and 4. For this, we are going to be using a 2-column section. To the left, we are adding an image, also using media. Media types that you see here and everything is provided by components from the suite or are compatible with those provided by Core or contrib modules. Okay, customizing the heading. Okay, and lastly, the link, of course, of a call to action block. And here we are going to be seeing some tools that provide suite with specific components. One is the selection previewer there, and below the utility classes that we will be explaining it in detail in a few minutes. But okay, here we are changing the TextAlign utility to right, and as you can see, the previewer reflects that. Also, for the link at different level, we are customizing the button appearance. And the rounded one. Okay, now we are adjusting the column sizing. And as you can see here, we just use this icon here, which provides a more accurate visualization from the final result without having to reload in the page or going to the view. We are in the layout building mode. Okay, now some final adjustments at region level. And that's it. We have a call to action, which includes an image, a heading, and text, and of course the link with the design or the styling in just a few moments. But remind, we are using a Bootstrap 5 theme, but we will see in a few minutes that we can use any theme. Okay, and lastly, we visit the configuration pages just to show up. Okay, this is the first contact with the final result. And now we will continue with the development premises and the consequent implementation assumptions. The first one is that we wanted something much more organic for the people that are building the content in the web, in the pages during the editing process, of course. And as you could see, you don't need to save it constantly to see how this will look like. Okay, we wanted something with no dependency with any distribution, profile, theme, or admin theme, at least hard dependencies, if we talk about the theme. Okay, is a Core Layout Builder ecosystem. Here in the screenshot, you can see how this looks like after just enable the Core Layout Builder. Okay, it's a preset of other content modules, which includes the dependency and integration. Also complementing that initial setup based into the core and content modules. And to go further, then there is the suite. This is the template library provided by Section Library with the VLSuite customization. Okay, flexibility is the most important decision criteria. We wanted to offer the most possible option for site builders with no code needed and with easy extensibility if required. Here you can see the utilities part and the previewer that we saw in the demo. And this will be available for the site builder or the page or the person that is creating the content with most options without having to code a single line. Okay, VLSuite is, we needed to rethink that we understood as a component and the initial development shuttle. We won't need fields, entity fields, to customize those components, look and feel, how the final result, or how the person that is creating the content won't be using database entity fields. We wanted something compatible with other approaches. Of course, if it works with Layout Builder, it should work with VLSuite. We also have optional dependencies to provide out-of-the-box functionality, as we saw in the demo. But also we have the paragraph integration or the web form. Avoid having to reinvent the wheel for each project for similar parts. Of course, this is always happening. And allows switching used CSS classes thanks to the internal identifiers. So we can switch from one theme or one theme framework to another. Just adjusting this page here, which is the utility classes configuration page of the VLSuite. And each time a site builder chooses how should look like a button or a link or something, an identifier is used instead of the final CSS class, so we can switch to another theme. Okay, maximum use and optimization of existing styles, which includes initial and customized, avoiding the need to add in new CSS constantly. Okay, aiming to facilitate the basics of any development. As you saw, in 3 minutes, we had a complete CTA. Throw a reusable and extensible suite. And dynamic components without being locked into a fixed preset. This means that VLSuite provides at this point, like Lego pieces, small pieces, customizable, and you can use them and customize them to build your own constructions, complex constructions. Okay, easy creation and intuitive of new content components at the site building layer. Okay, user experience is greatly improved over what Core provides. We just saw the Core appearance a few screenshots before, and this is also the layout display editing mode. Okay, optimization of development times, serving as a launchpad for site builder, development, and clients. This is because it's not just the final result of this. We also have at code level tools that developers could use, like bundle fields, to optimize that process. Out-of-the-box solution to daily use case application. So it's based into what we commonly need for our clients. And of course, a tool totally libre software without any external dependency or cost. Okay, to sum up, we will be seeing the key concept that we should be familiar with. Okay, layout builder, blocks, section, and regions. Just a quick summary. But layout builder provides a much more visual than classic entity creator edit form by using a drag and drop interface, although it's not 100% accurate to the final result. Okay, talking about layout builder means talking about blocks. Everything is blocks, but it integrates with content blocks, of course, entity field blocks, which means we are able to use the fields from the node we are building in this interface by using blocks. Entity extra field blocks and any other like view blocks or any other custom. Okay, layout builder can be applied at entity display level, which means we will have the same appearance for all entities and display of one type. Okay, and also beyond that, we can also use it to customize individually each entity of that type and display. Which means, for example, that we could have enabled a default setting for all the news in our site and customize each of them. Okay, commonly default site theme is preferred over the admin one for these building pages. And of course, now we are seeing the pieces that layout builder manage, which are blocks that are placed inside section regions. And that's it. Okay, then block or a component can be just a text, a title field, a complete view of content teasers, or a content block for a call to action, but consolidated as a content block bundle. Okay, you can find more documentation at Drupal.org page, of course. And utility classes, but from the perspective of the theme or exclusively the styles perspective. Okay, utility classes serves us to apply a preset of styles, like to align the text to the center or to the right, like we saw in the demo, to change the color, to apply a background color, to apply a button appearance to a link, whatever. Can be as complex as you may need. Okay, could be a combination of them, or not just affect to the first level selector. For example, you can add an utility at region level, and that utility will affect all the blocks inside all that regions. For example, to define the spacing between one block and another. Okay, may has more than one CSS class or variants. For example, we can have one to change the background, and we may have a different option inside that utility. For example, to apply the primary color, the secondary one, whatever, what we need. Okay, a complex composition like a call to action block can use utility at different levels of its component. As we saw in demo, we were applying one to define the region sizing, 25%, and the rest for the text, or to change the link appearance to a button. Okay, those are used by many front-end frameworks, and for example, Bootstrap. Or you can create your own or apply your own in your complete custom theme, not based into a framework. VLSuite will include an out-of-the-box utilities just when you install it, but you can change those utilities at your choice. Okay, the technical description. Okay, how was this possible and at code level? Okay, first of all, why a suite? Because it allows us much more synergy between pieces and modules, not just at functionality level, but also at code developing level, and also facilitates the installation and or maintenance, unifying our inner modules that compose it. Okay, shoulder of giants. Why we are saying that is because VLSuite stands into the core layout builder and other content modules to provide a content editing experience to ambitious site builders. Currently, is supported core 9.5 or 10. And dependencies are this: entity, content module, layout builder asymmetric translation, the landing that was created in demo, and all the blocks instead that was installed by all the modules that we saw, includes the configuration to have a quick and easy initial setup that includes multilingual. By using this approach, asymmetric translation, that will allow us to have different content structure between translations of the same content. Also, operation link, layout builder restriction, to make easy to maybe not so technical profiles. Media library form element, media responsive thumbnail, and section library. And VLSuite combines and provides that initial shuttle that maybe not so easy for some profile, and extends it to provide more value and to obtain the maximum optimization of that initial setup time. Okay, and of course we can always change that base and customize. Okay, this is the currently main module's structure, which includes the visual VLSuite block. Inside, we can see the call to action that is a link-based field block, just that. The headings menu, the icon, the image, local video, paragraph, remote video, text, web form. All this has defined the dependencies to enable just what we need, or we can enable almost the complete suite by enable the landing content editor, which was the demo one, that will enable all the requirements through dependencies. Okay, we also have the bundle field, which includes the classes and the bundle fields used by the media types and also the blocks there. Okay, the Visual VLSuite format that will provide a text format that editors could use. The Visual VLSuite landing, which includes that content type, all the configuration included, including the approach for that asymmetric translation. And inside the landing content editor, which includes the role that we can attach to the profiles of our needs. And after that initial shuttle, the only thing that we should do is to provide that role to the profiles of our Drupal, and that person will be able to start creating content from that moment. Okay, also Visual VLSuite layout will provide the layouts that we saw, the 1 column, the 2 columns, 3 column, and 4 column, but with the utility classes integration. Visual VLSuite layout builder, where we will be customizing the choose block, for example, of Core layout builder. Also, the media suite, which includes the one for icons, one for images, local video, and remote video too. Also, the Visual VLSuite model that will be using our admin theme dynamically into our modal boxes. So we can use any theme and it will be applied at modal level. That way, we avoid having to theme also widgets like the media one or whatever, but not using any frame, but combining the main theme and the admin one in the same page at a different moment. Okay, and of course the Visual VLSuite utility classes that will apply CSS classes at different level from that blocks there, and will avoid us to having to implement twig templates and classes constantly, at least for the utilities that we already have. Okay, the utility classes, but at this point we are seeing the utility classes from the Drupal and Visual VLSuite perspective. We already saw at the styles or theme level. And this is how this looks like at configuration pages here we can enable an utility for a field or at block level or whatever. For example, test align. And there, in the third picture, we are seeing the configuration panel that the site builder will see. And of course, can be applied at different levels, as we said. For example, at section, region level, top, bottom, or main, block, field, all field item, you decide. Okay, this provides, of course, the maximum customization flexibility without having to generate new templates or styles. Okay, avoids using entity fields because are stored as attributes of the region at layout builder level or as a block extra configuration at block level, instead of using entity fields, which requires is database tables and all that. You can use any theme default admin. As we said, Suite provides a initial configuration of utilities based into Bootstrap 5 classes, but you can use any theme of your choice and change in that configuration page the equivalent utilities to align text, to define the half with size or whatever. Okay. Default provided is using similar Bootstrap 5, but you can customize it completely. You will be able to upgrade your theme framework or change it completely. And model at the configuration level of the building mode will use your admin theme dynamically, but without using an iframe, but using a mix of both themes. Okay, and utility styles are not provided or required by the Visual Layout Suite. And lastly, we have unstable release out that you can check and install it or whatever, and remind using a Bootstrap 5 base theme to use it like the video that we saw, or customize the utilities after that initial installation. And take a look if you want. Okay, and now Richie will tell us the differences with other solutions.
Okay, so let's talk about the differences with other solutions, because as I said before, there are many solutions to improve the editorial experience. I want to say that I'm not saying that there are worse or better than other. Obviously, this depends on your needs and your personal preferences, but just we would like to show the difference that we have identified. Oops, wrong direction. So the first difference is that there is no dependency on distribution profile or theme. We have already explained this before. There is only a soft dependency on Bootstrap 5, but it's only to provide the utility classes needed for out-of-the-box functionalities. But if you want, you can use other theme that provides the utility classes that you use. Also, well, it can be used with any existing site because there are no dependencies, so you can just install the suite and start using it. also, adding a new component is something that can be done without coding anything. There is no need to create any, I don't know, a structural entity or any other thing to create a new component. You just use the pieces provided by the suite and create a new component. The suite provides, thanks to the contribution module and core library, where you can create more components and add to the library. And the thing is that you can use one component that it's, I mean, you can, let's say, copy it and use in different places, and those copies are independent. Or you can use, like, let's say, a source component and other children component, and if you change the original component, other components will be changed as well. For example, changing the look and feel of a button or something like that. There is no usage or extensibility costs. Is totally free in the sense of you don't have to pay anything apart. It's completely Drupal way approach, because the suite leverages on core and standard Drupal mechanisms like layout builder and blocks, so there are no obscure tricks used. Is because of that is compatible with other approaches. If it works with layout builder, it should work with the VLSuite. And it's not, for example, not based into SIG editor or other fields. All the information, it's stored using layout capabilities. There is no need of custom fields, SIG editor fields, or anything, any other similar things. And as I said before, it's totally libre software without any external dependencies or any requirements or whatever. You can start using it without any other thing. And that's all. So we are a little bit short of time. So let's just.
I'll be real quick. Okay. Okay, next step and development forecast. First, we want to add different access level utility classes for different level profiles. One just to edit content, one to apply basic utilities, and the other for the advanced one, which is the current state. Carousel and new other components, complex common component preset, always modifiable after the initial installation. And the full option pre-established per utility to speed up even more that building content process. Also, we want to add more documentation and guides and whatever that you could be one. You may have an idea to extend all this. Okay, and just quite fast, the preview. This can be built with those initial utilities, call to action, cards, highlighted video background, headings menu, all that and more, just a few clicks after initial installation. And I try to draw a Tetris board with we can see the next pieces of our choice and build pages fastly as possible. Okay, so any questions? Yeah.
Yeah. How much of this do you think that is going to become standard? Because as you mentioned, there are other solutions similar, other approaches, and I saw companies that they're doing their own implementation pretty similar. So how much of this do you think that is going to become standard properly in layout builder or even close to core? I don't know.
Yeah, we studied many other approaches that are already out, but we wanted one based into all that we mentioned, like having no dependency of profile or having the flexibility that this provides. I don't know that if this will be an standard. It's up to everybody. Hope, you know. Thank you. Another one? Yeah.
Did you think about operability and changing, let's say, between layout, builder, and other solutions? So the migration process. So at the moment, we have lots of Drupal websites using VLSuite, using layout builder. Do you have a plan to provide some sort of migration, or would it be rebuilding the content from scratch?
Sorry, you're asking what it's. Hello. You're asking what happens in a migration if we stop using VLSuite, or in other case. Sorry, I didn't fully understand your question.
The question is, do you have a plan to bring to have an easier migration for other solutions already in place, like VLSuite, for example?
There is no current plan for that. It's something that if there is a demand for that, it's something that we will think. The problem is that now that there are many different approaches, so obviously it's very hard work to cover all of them. But if there is an option to do the migration and there is a demand, it's something that we can do, of course. Yeah.
No more questions? Okay. So thank you very much for attending this session. And that's it.
No, porque o sea, tú cuando estás en el parte, las cosas miran y 31, 32, en realidad estamos como a 3 minutos a acabar.